At first, I was not even sure as to whether or not I was going to keep my daughter or give her up for adoption. My name is Thereasa Ford. I am a single mother of two amazing kids. My daughter Thereasa is 19 and my son Michael is 11. When I was in high school, I began to have some weird times. Like I remember one time I was in the middle of an English exam and it was as though I blinked and then there was nobody in the classroom. There was no teacher, there was no kids. So I went to a doctor and at first the doctor's like, oh, you just have a bit of anxiety. But my Aunt Pat is a nurse and she went with me and she said, I think she has epilepsy and I think you should have her tested. Epilepsy sucks in a lot of ways. I can't drive, which really bugs me a lot. I can't go to the movie theater. I used to try to. I was fine in the movie theater, but I'd get to like around the parking lot and bam, I'd be down. I've hit my face so much, I lost my front tooth. But the absolute worst part about me being sick is the fact that it affects my kids.
When I was young, I remember there was like a certain phone where I could just like press one number and it would call either like my grandmother or 911. I don't know, I think it caused like a bit of anxiety, kind of not knowing like why that's happening and like what to do in a certain situation. But I think it kind of made me be like super independent in a way, to try to like help her and be with her in those situations.
My son was very difficult to say the least. He cried a lot. He at one point had begun to talk a little bit, but then he stopped talking and he began to scream, and he began to scream a lot. By the time he was about 2, I knew that he was not okay, and that's when he was given an official diagnosis as being on the spectrum. When my daughter was in foster care, I was not even sure as to whether or not I was going to give her up for adoption. I just woke up and I was crying at the thought of not having my child with me. And people were like, well, are you sure this is really what you want to do? You have nothing. And I didn't care who told me that I couldn't or shouldn't do it. I was going to take care of my kids and do the best that I could for them. And my son Michael, I was told to be prepared for him never to walk, never to talk, never to be potty trained, and for me to have to take care of him for the rest of my life. And I said, you're wrong. And now he still has difficulties, but he almost never stops talking. And it's amazing. The first time he said, I love you, it meant so much because it just took so long to get him to say that. He's happy. And I mean, if I can raise him to be happy, I think that is the most important thing. My kids are amazing, so I've got to be healthy for them. I have to take care of myself for them. There's so many ways that things could be a lot worse than what they are. So what gets me through is just remembering those things and remembering what's important in life. Is life perfect? No. Do I wish that I didn't have epilepsy? Yes. But I mean, I can do what I have to be a successful parent, and I think that's the best I could have hoped for.